Good afternoon, this is the latest video update on the Western Pacific, and right now we are watching a new tropical storm that has formed in the Western Pacific. We have Tropical Storm Haikui just west of the Ogasawara Islands, well south of Japan. Today is the 3rd of August 2012. But before we begin with Haikui, just take a look at the Western Pacific Basin as a whole, and you can see the strain of moisture extending from the Philippine Sea all the way to the Central Pacific, actually near Wake Island. This is basically a very active monsoon trough that has lifted northward, partly enhanced by the movement of Saola last week. And speaking of Saola, it has now made landfall together with Damrey here in China yesterday, and are now rapidly weakening as a tropical depression over China. Both systems are still currently bringing widespread rains in their respective regions. And actually, before we take a look at Haikui, let's take a look first at the radar image from the CMA here in Fujian province. This is Saola basically, or the remnants of Saola, as it weakens to a tropical depression. Again, the system is still bringing widespread rains across Fujian province, and also here in Jiangxi and parts of Zhejiang province, mainly across here in eastern and southeastern China. Reports so far in the area range from around 50 to 100 millimeters, with some areas reaching up to 200 millimeters actually in the past 24 hours. So some very heavy rainfalls now in this region. Certainly not as heavy yet as the rains that you've seen in Taiwan, where over 1,000 millimeters of rain fell in a period of 3 days as Saola moved slowly across the country there. The other system is the tropical depression Damrey, which made landfall here in the province of Jiangsu yesterday evening as a typhoon. JMA actually upgraded this to a typhoon just before making landfall. So the system has now weakened since it's now a tropical depression moving across the northern part of Shandong province. And you can see the core of the storm, or the system, is still somewhat discernible on radar. And you can also see the strain of moisture, train of widespread moderate rains now moving into the northeastern part of China, affecting the provinces of Hebei, Tianjin, Liaoning, and also rains now pushing just east of Beijing. So could see some light to moderate rains as well here. Reports in this region have been lesser compared to Saola down south. Rainfall reports of just around 50 to 100 millimeters actually in parts of Shandong. But again, you can see this radar signature is still widespread rains continuing across the northeastern part of China. But the good news is that these two systems should actually continue to rapidly weaken. Both JM and JWC have given their final updates on the system, so that should be the end of our updates on this Saola and Damrey. However, we'll continue to watch the developments in this region as the rainfall totals continue to pile up. We set our attention to the Western Pacific. Again, we have a newly developed tropical storm Haikui just west of the Ogasawara Islands, and also actually a developing tropical depression well west of the Wake Island, again embedded along this huge monsoon trough extending from the Philippine Sea all the way to the Central Pacific. And this plume of moisture actually partly enhanced by the low-level convergence of Haikui, and also again the monsoon trough, not expected to develop. The main areas that need to be watched basically is Haikui and 90W, tropical depression already here. Taking a look closer at Haikui, it was last located approximately 180 kilometers west of Iwo To Islands here in the Ogasawara Islands, well south of Japan. Maximum sustained winds are now at 65 kilometers per hour with gusts of up to 95 according to JMA's latest analysis on the system. It is currently moving west-northwestward at 20 kilometers per hour. You can see in this 2-kilometer satellite image how broad the circulation of the system is. You can see the circulation let's take a closer look actually. This is the core basic of the system, and we are noticing some multiple vortices spinning around a common center. We have one over here, and also another mini circulation spotted just west of Iwo To Island. looking back at the satellite image, you can see again how broad the circulation is, and this could actually be crucial in terms of development as the system struggles to consolidate and form a tight core in the next 2 days. We expect the system to be slow in intensifying, but as the conditions continue to improve in the area, expect a faster pace of intensification by Monday, and we could be looking actually at a typhoon by Tuesday as it moves nearer towards the Ryukyu Islands. And that is actually where the system is forecast to head right now, based on the current synoptic patterns, current steering layers. Here you can see the subtropical ridge anchored over Japan, and this is what's steering Haikui to the west. Now the system is forecast to slowly turn to the north as it moves into eastern China Sea, and the crucial part of the mid to long range forecast is how weak this ridge will be by Wednesday. Right now forecasts are actually very in good agreement in the next 3 days. As you can see, the forecast spread gets larger by day 4 and onwards. You can see in this ensemble forecast from the GFS, each line basically representing a possible solution based on forecast models, and you can see some tracking it towards the eastern China and some taking Haikui towards the north, towards possibly Shikoku in Japan. So still a very wide range of forecast from the computer models. In terms of the forecasting agencies, they are in somewhat very good agreement actually of a west-northwestward track towards the Ryukyu Islands, moving near Okinawa by Sunday or Monday as a powerful typhoon, and basically moving into eastern China Sea by the middle part of next week. And you can see most of these agencies are forecasting a slow track to the north, possibly towards either northeastern China, South Korea, or Japan. So all these areas mentioned here should still keep an eye on the developments of the system. Right now, the only area near it is Iwo To. Okinawa is still not under threat as of the moment, but as the days go by, surely need to stay tuned more closely on the developments of Haikui. And the video update for today. For those living in northern and southern China, continue to monitor the news there as the remnants of both Saola and Damrey continue to bring torrential rainfall in the region. And also for those in the Philippines, continue to monitor Pagasus' latest warnings and forecasts as the southwest monsoon continues to impact the country, particularly here in western Luzon. Stay safe, guys. Bye.